Hello, Phoenix Risers. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I know it's been a minute. I haven't been on in a while. I know it's probably been about 2 or 3 weeks now. And how is July almost over with? I don't understand it. I don't understand how we have 2 weeks left of this month. it's it's gone by really fast. So it's kind of in alignment with the energy of Cancerian season. You know, if you're familiar with tarot and the tarot, Cancerian season and July are associated with the chariot. And the chariot is all about forward movement and momentum. And so this month has certainly been jam packed full of momentum and movement. And the planetary alignments and astrological energy going on right now is intense. I don't know if anybody else is feeling it or not. I mean, I'm sure you're feeling it. I'm sure you all are feeling it too. Some of us, though, some signs are feeling it even more. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But a lot of these energies that we're feeling right now have never been experienced modern in modern history in our lives, because not many people are old enough to have experienced some of these outer planets that have shifted into new astrological signs. So I'm going to touch on it a little bit. I have a lot to cover. I refuse, though, to go the whole month of July and not get on and record, because it's such an interesting, not just interesting, it's just such an eventful month. It's such an eventful month. So um, we'll talk a little bit about the energy. I'm going to pull some cards for you guys, pull some tarot. Tonight I'm going to use the Cosmic Seed, which I've been called to use this deck. I used it on myself yesterday, and the messages that came out were really clear. So I want to see if I can get some really clear messages out for the collective tonight. And also, with the Cosmic Seed, it's very feminine. It reminds me, it has on the cover of it the High Priestess, which is um, associated with Pisces. And of course the nodes are in Pisces, the nodes are in Pisces and Virgo right now. Earth's north node and south node, south node in Virgo and north node in Pisces. Anyway, it's a very divine, feminine, watery energy. And Cancer, of course, is very feminine, is our divine feminine, ruled by the moon, which is our divine feminine luminary, opposite the sun. So using the Cosmic Seed, and then I'm going to pull from an oracle, see what I can get for you guys from Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. This is actually a new deck that I haven't used on camera. I've used on my own, but it's my third Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel deck. And then I think I'll leave you guys with an oracle from Wisdom of the House of the Night. See what comes out for you guys there. And I'm going to try to keep it under an hour. So let's get to it. The energies that are going on right now. Okay, so Cancerian season. Again, it's momentum. It's closely related. It's related to the Chariot in tarot, which is momentum and fast movement. However, we also have some other energies and aspects going on. We have Venus and Uranus in Gemini. And you would think, okay, Venus in Gemini, that's great. You know, Gemini represents the lovers in tarot, and Venus is our planet of love and beauty and harmony. But so you would think it would be quite at home there, but not quite. So, with the twins, it's a very dualistic energy. Um, it's kind of like a needing to balance out a masculine and feminine energy, but it's also very dualistic. So, Venus in the sign of Gemini is, you're probably going to be feeling a lot of push and pull or back and forth or uncertainty in regards to relationships. And so there's that aspect going on. And then of course Uranus rules Aquarius. So when you think of Uranus, think of characteristics associated with the sign of Aquarius. It's kind of a revolutionary energy. Think outside the box energy, and um, anything can happen. So think unexpected gifts or energy or changes, upheavals. Um, Hang on a second, it's really warm in here. I just realized I had the air off, completely off of the nerve. So Uranus is a very revolutionary, radical type energy. And then we have Neptune and Saturn. Saturn is actually retrograde right now. Saturn and Neptune are in Aries right now. So, of course, Aries is a fire sign. Um, so, Neptune is a very watery, illusionary planet. Uh, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So, think of characteristics of Pisces. It's very watery, dreamy, and illusionary. And then you have Saturn, which is kind of like our father, if you think of Saturn, uh, um, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the devil in tarot, and it has a lot to do with structure, discipline, hard work, karma. Um, so we have, and then Saturn in retrograde. So, and then we have, of course, the beginning of the year, we have Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto is scorpionic, and the tower, the death. It's transformation and rebirth. So we have a lot of transformational energy going on right now, and I am not exempt. I have been going through it as well. and living my life and going through these transformational processes the best I can as well, and also growing and being open and receptive to receive and recognizing the magic and abundance all around, and tapping into that as well and enjoying the energy. So, long story short, the best way to deal with the energies that we have going on right now, the best way to not go crazy, is to stay balanced and grounded, really needing to ground yourself in this energy, and surrender to it, because it's a very, when you think Saturn, you think karma, and um, there's also the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune in my mind's eye, and the Wheel of Fortune is in tarot, it's a 10, and 10 holds the energetic frequency of, numerologically, I mean, of one, which is that initial spark, that creation, that beginning. But 10 itself is endings and beginnings, and one is that beginning, that spark, and then zero is like the womb, the infinite potential, the uncreated, the infinite, it's the creative space. So, and then also with the Wheel of Fortune, um, it has to do with the fixed signs. So Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, most of my two of my signs. So my my sun is Leo and my rising is Scorpio, and then I have an Aries moon. So it's exceptionally, this energy is exceptionally hitting home for me. And probably you too, if you have any of those strong placements, any strong fixed signs places like Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or even Cancer, Virgos, Pisces, Aries. Um, we're all feeling, oh, and Gemini as well, with Venus and Uranus in Gemini. There's something else in Gemini too, and I can't remember. But that's all right. So the best advice I can give you is to stay grounded and surrender your need for control. You don't, and when you, and an easier way to do that, I mean, we are, or maybe some of us more so than others, but I feel like by nature we're controlling. We're afraid of the unknown, and um, uh, what am I trying to say? Uh, Creatures of routine. That's not what I was trying to say, but that's what I'm thinking. So we're used to being in a routine, and we like things to be predictable normally. I don't, but a lot of people do. So, and that's a new thing that I've cultivated. It's not something. It's not a way that I've always been, but I've learned over time and the years to embrace change, um, and to instead of fearing the unknown, embracing it, and um, looking at it as a time for excitement or an opportunity for growth and change and adventure and excitement. So change and growth is good. I just heard evil is bad or evil is good. No, don't listen to that. That's from Vampire in Brooklyn. Anyway, ground yourself. See, squirrel, stay grounded. So anyway, um, that's the basic energy that we're dealing with. There's much more, but again, I want to get into the message, and not have our video go over too long. So with that being said, it's a great time to pick up a hobby or learn something new, or really embrace your creative energy, and lean into that. Lean into creating something. It's a great time to create. With Neptune. Neptune is also a creative energy to tap into, because it is dreamy, and you are uh, closely tapped into your intuition and your your creativity. So it is a good time to create. For myself, I've been painting again, so I started back doing that. And that's part of the reason why I'm recording a little bit earlier tonight. I want to paint tonight, so I'm trying to get started a little bit earlier. But it's a good time to focus on your body. Um, that's kind of like a double task stacking, if you will. If you focus on your body, it's a good way to ground, as well as improve on your health, and really really dive into taking your health into your own hands. That's one way to kind of get out of your head in this mental energy, with Neptune and Venus and Gemini. Gemini is kind of an anxious energy. It could be considered kind of an anxious energy. They have a lot of energy. I'm part Gemini myself. My Venus is in Gemini, so I guess this is, and I wasn't even thinking of that when I was thinking of all my other signs and these placements in this transformational energy. But Yes, my Venus is also in Gemini. So it's it's it could be considered kind of an anxious, restless energy. So again, you want to get grounded. If you don't know how to do that, you might want to check out some of my other videos. I feel like I talk about grounding in almost every video, but there's crystals you can use. There's meditations you can do, or you could just get really hyper present, really be present in your body the best you can. That's another way to um, uh, stay grounded in these really strong, intense energies, is just really getting hyper focused or hyper present and aware of your surroundings. And also, when you're hyper present and in the now, you're able to see more and experience more. And I like to consider it tapping into the magic within me and all around me. For example, the other night I was walking from my car to um, to where I live, and parking in Chicago is ridiculous. Like, good luck, Chuck, if you're not paying $200 a month to park where you live. Good luck, Chuck, finding parking. Sometimes it's a mile away. And I'm okay with that because, for one, I don't have $200 a month to spend on parking. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to. And extra steps, who cares? It gives me an opportunity to walk my neighborhood. And particular in this particular night, it was great. So anyway, I'm walking from walking, and I notice a firefly. And I haven't seen a firefly since I was a kid. I haven't seen a firefly in ages. I grew up in California, and I don't think California has fireflies. Anyway, I hadn't seen a firefly since the 80s in North Carolina. And I stopped to look at this firefly, and it seemed like he stopped too. It was like a moment in time that had just stopped. And as I'm looking at him, um, I look up and I notice a whole courtyard filled with fireflies. And had I not been present, though, in that moment, I would have missed it just like that. And it was incredibly magical. It was dark. It was dark enough to where you could see them light, their little butts light up. And there was a lot of them. And it was in this whole little courtyard. I was excited to see one, and I'm like hyper focused on this one. And then I look up, and there's a whole bunch of them. I would have totally missed that. That's something you know, you don't you can't get when your face is in a screen or in your phone, or not present, not paying attention, or in your head. So also, the benefit of being present and in the now and getting out of your head is that you're able to better regulate your nervous system, because you're not creating um, threats and scares and fears and illusions, feeding illusions in your mind, and fears that, you know, preconceived threats um, that you may not be in an immediate threat. You may not be in any threat at the moment, and yet your overactive mind could perceive dangers in fear because of the unknown, and have you going down rabbit holes and creating scenarios and snowball effects that could have a negative ripple effect. So avoid all that chaos and nonsense and drama, because it'll be easy to do in this energy. So you don't want to do that. And public service announcement, if you haven't heard, your currency, your energy and your frequency is your new currency. So guard it, protect it, and spend it wisely. I'll say it again. Your energy and your frequency is your new currency. All right, there you go. So we are truly in a time right now where possibilities are endless. We are in a really exciting time, in a creative time, where old paradigms no longer work, no longer fit, no longer match, and we're being opened up and exposed to so much more energies that allow us to take back our freedom, take back our lives, and create the lives that we want to create, and not just be unconsciously going and unconsciously creating, because we're creating constantly. We are creators, we are creative light beings, and we're creating whether we're conscious of it or not. We're constantly doing it. So in order to create the reality, consciously create the reality that you want to create, then it's best to be mindful of that and consciously aware of what it is that you are creating and what it is that you want to bring into your life and let go of. So with that being said, the main thing I wanted to touch on though was the staying grounded part and having fun and creating, and surrendering. If you take nothing else away from this video, take away that. Surrender, ground, have fun, create, and remember that your energy and your frequency is your new currency. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. With that being said, though, we're actually doing really. I started the video over. I think we're doing good on time. I want to pull from the Cosmic Seed Tarot to see what energies are supporting the collective at this time. So we're gonna do that now. Thank you, Spirit. What energies are supporting the collective right now for the greatest good? For their greatest good, what messages do we have? Y'all, I need to start checking the microphone. Last night, I had created a whole hour, a whole video to release to you guys. It was an hour long, and when I finished, I realized there was no recording. There was no recording, and I'm like, well, why? The green light was on, but apparently it was flashing, and flashing, I guess, is not good. I don't know why it wouldn't just be dead and off instead of tricking me into thinking it's on and recording. So anyway, I had a whole hour of video with no recording. Yeah, I almost cried, and I was like, well, I guess that was for me. Spirit thought that, and it was a good read. Like, I feel like Spirit really came through. The messages were clear. I was so. Hold on, I just dropped a bunch of cards. Oh, that tells me the energy is just chomping at the bit to come out. Thank you, Spirit. What messages do we have for the collective today for their highest good? 3 cards. One more. Cosmic Seed. I love this deck. It's traditional tarot, but it has an extra card in it called the Cosmic Seed, and it's kind of like the energy of zero, or it's like the uncreated. It's like the infinite possibilities. All right, one more. Let me pay attention. Got one more first. Thank you, Spirit. Yep, there we go. All right, nice. And the 8 of Coins. Okay, on the bottom of the deck. So what came out for you guys is the 6 of Wands. Interesting. 3 of Cups and Death. Death came out last night for you guys in the reading as well. And at the bottom of the deck, the 8 of Pentacles. So right away, with the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Wands is actually a card of Leo, But it's a card of victory and success and recognition, public recognition, creativity. I feel like this card comes out a lot. This card's been coming out a lot lately. It actually came out in the last reading, I believe. Um, but it has to do with self self confidence and really removing masks and allowing yourself to be seen unapologetically, authentically. Authenticity is the highest vibrational frequency next to love. And with this transformational energy that we're going through, that's the whole purpose of it, is to shed old dead layers and anything that no longer serves you, anything that you're holding on to that um, think of peeling back the layers to get to um, picture yourself like however old you are from the time you were born up until now, layers of life just being put on you. um, Whatever you're holding on to from the time you were born up until now, whatever you've collected and haven't released. So it's kind of like, imagine peeling back the layers to get to your true essence, your true self. And that's the whole point of this transformational energy, is so that you can release and transform. And that's the energy of death as well. Death is transformation. It's scorpionic. It's death and rebirth. So whenever I see death on on the table, I feel like I get excited. A lot of people use some of the more challenging cards like death and the tower as challenging energies, but with every challenge and challenging energy comes an opportunity for growth and renewal and healing and something better. It just know that, and remember too that and shift your perspective that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So if you can shift your perspective into remembering that and knowing that all things ultimately happen for the great for your benefit and for your greatest good, then you start to shift that into your reality and ground that frequency in. And things don't affect you as much, or things that would normally take you out won't take you out. You have the strength to overcome it and deal with it. And anyway, the six of the or I'm holding death. The Six of Wands really speaks to me of letting your authentic self shine and show, and unapologetically, and without fear of being seen, without fear of being heard. You know, so often we cloak ourselves behind masks, and we people please, and we say things that we think others want to hear instead of speaking our truths. And um, um, not waiting, also too, with the Six of Wands, it reminds me too of not waiting for permission, not waiting for somebody to give you permission to do something that you want to do. Just do it. And not needing validation either. There's always going to be naysayers and, negative Nellies, and people who want to question you, people who want to question what you say, where your information is coming from. And, that's all fine and dandy, but my attitude about it is, if you're on my channel, then you're on my channel to listen to me. If you don't want to listen to me, then don't be on my channel. So the messages that I channel come through, aren't to me aren't they're not, what do I want to say there? without being rude, without being rude. To me, it's not up for, it's not something that's up for debate, is what I'm trying to say here. The message that come through, I do a lot of preparation, a lot of meditation prior. I journal, I write out, I connect with my guides and my higher self. I set intentions, and so I trust and I have faith that what comes out is meant to come out, and it's meant to reach who it's supposed to reach. So with that being said, and why I'm saying this is because of this card right here, the six of wands, this card of Leo and being seen in public recognition, and being unapologetically yourself. This is what spirit is asking you to do and to look forward to as well. You also got the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is community, camaraderie, um, your soul tribe. I also, in another context, I also think of this as my spirit guides. So know that too. You're not alone, um, and that's the whole point of being able to feel safe enough to surrender and let go. Know that you're divinely guided and you're safe in order to do that. You're never alone. We all have guides. We all have angels. We've all incarnated here with our team, our spirit team. So know that you're being divinely guided right now, and that you're not alone, and you're never given anything more than you can handle. What's the worst thing that can happen? Death. And death is, and there's no true death either. There's only transformation. It's only, we're light beings in a having a human experience in this incarnation in these bodies. These bodies are not who we are. These bodies are housing a small portion of our souls, and um, we're light beings. We're here for a short amount of time, if you think about it, considering that our energy is infinite and cannot be destroyed, or it can't die. It's just it changes alchemical states. So knowing that, there's only death and rebirth, there's only transformation, so you're safe. Nobody could hurt you, or they can, but they can't break. What's that Beyonce? They can't break my soul. I can't sing, but they can't break your soul. Nobody can break your soul. And anyway, don't let people who don't even know their own path try to dictate yours. So that's my advice on that. And the Eight of Pentacles, hang on. The Eight of Pentacles is about, this is at the bottom of the deck, the energy at the bottom of the deck is, the energy playing out behind the scenes or in your subconscious, the energy that you can't necessarily see, but it's playing out behind the scenes. And that's the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card of Virgo, and it has to do with hard work, and skills and crafts, and sowing seeds. What seeds are you sowing? What are you growing? What are you working toward, or building, or wanting to manifest into your lives? This is a card of that skill, craft, creation. And then underneath that is the Two of Swords, which is a card of Libra. And swords, of course, are mental processes, and how we think, how we process. In the traditional Rider Waite, Two of Swords, the person is with a blindfold over their eyes with their swords up, and it's could be considered a block. You're not able to see, you're not necessarily able to see what direction you're going, and really needing to trust your intuition. This actually came out last night too, but it came out with the High Priestess, which is very interesting. but it is having to rely and trust on your intuition, especially in times where you don't have clarity. You may be in Neptunian Neptunian energy where things are kind of foggy and illusionary, and it's because we're in this transitional phase. Two of Wands is also, or Wands, Two of Swords can also be this crossroads, a transition point, and we are at a crossroads, but there's a block here, and thus the need to surrender, because there's an element of divine timing and fate at work here. And if you recognize that it's to your benefit and in your favor, then you can rest easy knowing that your spirit guides have your back, and that you're safe to be seen and heard, and safe to create, and that you're in a transitional phase right now. And even though you can't see, if you rely on your intuition, your soul knows the way. So tap into your intuition. Your soul knows the way. And there's the Eight of Pentacles. All right, so that's our tarot. And interesting too, we have only one major arcana. So again, tapping into the energy of one, which is the initial spark creation, and also death. It's 13 in the tarot, which reduces to 4 in numerology, and 4 is associated with the emperor, but also, who's been coming out a lot lately, but also with foundations and building strong foundations. And um, maybe that's what you're working toward, building a strong foundation, and something better though. All right, so that's our tarot. Thank you, Spirit. That was a clear message for the collective. Thank you. So now we're going to pull from Work Your Light Oracle and see what comes out for you guys there. Thank you, Spirit. What advice do we have for the collective for their greatest good? Thank you. One card. One more shuffle. All right. We got here. Answer the call. This is the same card that came out last night. Spirit, answer the call. All right, I'm gonna read it for you again. It's your first time, but it's my second time reading it. And this time I know where it is. I was saying last time, the only thing I don't like about this deck is there's no numbers, or there's no numbers on it, and it's not alphabetical order. So it's like, good luck finding it. But because I've already done this, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. That's what we just said with that Three of Cups that came out in the tarot. Your guidance is divinely guided. You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary, it might not make sense, but if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul yearns for. Whatever you are called to do, that is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a step-by-step plan before they take the first step, but intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul, and that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people. You are in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't even need to know where it's leading. You just need to take the next step. No one has ever had the complete, perfect plan. There's no end destination. There's no right or wrong way to do it, and you do not need permission from anyone else. Sometimes the more resistance we have around answering a soul calling, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Work your light inquiry. What is your soul calling you to do? Perfectly aligned with our tarot message. I love that when, thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much. I love it when our oracle messages are consistent with our tarot. I love when Spirit does that because it just brings it full circle. And it's like, again, not needing permission to listen to your higher purpose, listen to your higher calling and your intuition, which ultimately is your higher calling and your higher self. So I'm going to end you guys with a wisdom of the House of the Night Oracle. Thank you, Spirit. What message do we have for the collective for their highest good from wisdom of the House of the Night? Oh, that flew out right away, but it fell on the floor. Hang on. Wow. Okay. Belonging, House of the Night, 41, which reduces to a 5. 5 is about change and conflict. Could be dealing with conflict right now. And of course, changes, transformational changes. All right, 41. What do we have? 41. Belonging, House of the Night. My dear one, I know you have been searching your whole life for a sense of belonging, a feeling of home and acceptance. Come and enter the House of Night, for when you choose this symbol, you have joined us in this community of beauty, friendship, and secrets only shared and known among my chosen ones. You are chosen to belong. The symbol also tells you that you are in the right place now. You are home. Be at home inside yourself. Learn to be comfortable in your own skin. When you choose this symbol, know that I, Nyx, goddess of the night, have chosen you. Interesting. Again, it kind of reminds me of Venus, as well as what we were saying earlier about needing to be grounded and really sink into your body and be present, be fully present and aware. And there was something else I was going to say to that, and I forgot. And oh yeah, not being afraid to. So again, it speaks on to not being afraid to show your authentic self and be seen. Yeah, learn to be comfortable in your own skin. When you choose a symbol, know that I, Nyx, goddess of the night, have chosen you. And that's it. That's your message. That's your message. I hope this message finds you well. I hope something here resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, come back for more. There's gonna be more. I'm gonna try not to leave y'all hanging as long as I did. 3 weeks is too long. I even missed you guys. I missed recording. I missed my audience of 2. So anywho, that's all. Much love. Keep on rising. Bye.